Hello everyone, it's Ozarafon here, and today I will be giving you a top 10 list of the best races to watch at home. Since there is no NASCAR racing for a while, this list will only include races from the 2010s, so no 2020 races or races before 2010. Also, there are no exhibition races on this list, so no Clash, Duels, or All-Star races. I will show you one race per season, so one race in 2010, one from 2011, and etc. Also, I will not be talking about the finish or the driver who won. Just the first half of the race I will really be talking about. I know some of you have probably seen the races, but some of you may not have seen the race, or have forgotten about it. With that all said, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment on this video your opinion, hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time I upload a video, share this video, check out my other content, and as always, thanks for tuning in. Number 10, the 2016 Ford EcoBoost 400. I decided to put a mile-and-a-half race in this top 10. The championship finale at Homestead Miami Speedway of the 2016 season came down to 4 drivers. Jimmie Johnson, the 6-time champion, trying to win his 7th, which would tie him with NASCAR greats Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt. Kyle Busch trying to win his 2nd championship in a row. Carl Edwards trying to win his first career championship in his last season, even though we didn't know it was his last season at this point, and Joey Logano trying for his first career championship. Also, a Legends final NASCAR race in his full-time career, as Tony Stewart would pilot the number 14 car one last time. Also, this would be the final full-time start for Greg Biffle, Brian Scott, Casey Mears, and the last known start for Alex Bowman, and the final Cup Series race for Michael Annett for the foreseeable future. Jimmie Johnson had to start at the back of the field. So halfway through the race, we've seen pretty good racing at this point, with a lot of racing for the lead. And at this point, there are 2 favorites, non-championship contender Kevin Harvick and championship contender Carl Edwards. Number 9, the 2010 Subway Fresh Fit 600. The 7th race of the 2010 NASCAR Cup Series season at Phoenix Raceway had some underdogs up in the top 10, including AJ Allmendinger on pole, Scott Speed 2nd, Sam Hornish Jr., Marcos Ambrose, Joey Logano, Juan Pablo Montoya, and Martin Truex Jr. within the top 10. AJ Allmendinger got the first pole in the legendary 43 since John Andretti in 1999. So halfway through this race, we see 2 favorites to win the race, Juan Pablo Montoya and Jimmie Johnson. We had some minor spins here and there, and some heavy hits into the wall. Some great battling throughout the field, especially within the first 20 laps of the restarts. Some strategy as well as underdogs like Juan Pablo Montoya, Joey Logano, and Sam Hornish Jr. battling within the top 10. Number 8, the 2015 Goody's Headache Relief 500. The round of 8 starter in the 2015 season at Martinsville saw 8 drivers going for a chance to lock themselves into the championship finale at Homestead. Brad Keselowski, Carl Edwards, Joey Logano, Jeff Gordon, Kevin Harvick, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, and Martin Truex Jr., all starting within the top 15. The tension between Joey Logano and Matt Kenseth over the past few weeks was something that fans had their eyes on for this race. Throughout the first half of this event, we didn't see a dominant car, but there were a bunch of fast cars like Joey Logano, Martin Truex Jr., Jeff Gordon, Kurt Busch, Kevin Harvick, and Brad Keselowski, and as a result, we saw a lot of trades for the lead. We saw a lot of bumper-to-bumper action, strategy, a lot of cautions, and I mean a lot, a fire in the pits, and a bunch of commercials, as well as tempers between Matt Kenseth and Brad Keselowski. Number 7, the 2012 Good Sam Roadside Assistance 500. A plate track of Talladega in the chase of 2012. This is a recipe for carnage, and there was for the most part. Brad Keselowski, Clint Bowyer, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Denny Hamlin, Greg Biffle, Jeff Gordon, Jimmie Johnson, Casey Kane, Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr., Matt Kenseth, and Tony Stewart were all in contention to win the 2012 championship. The favorites to win this race after the first half seemed to be the Hendrick cars as well as Jamie McMurray. We saw some tandem drafting, an incredible save by Matt Kenseth, some double yellow line problems, 2 wide racing for the entire first half, and 3 wide racing for most of it. Number 6, the 2017 First Data 500. Another race at Martinsville, this time in 2017. 8 drivers, trying to make the championship race at Miami. The 8 drivers were Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Jimmy Johnson, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., and Ryan Blaney. The dominant car seemed to be Kyle Busch. We saw some trading the lead between Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski early, some playoff drama as well as some strategy, and a battle to the end of Stage 2 between Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski. The second half of this race, let's just say, was utter chaos. Number 5, the 2013 Cheez-It 355 at the Glen. I decided to add a road course race in this one. The 2013 race at Watkins Glen International, the second and last road course race on the schedule. Marcos Ambrose, a road course ringer, started on pole. The first half saw loads of issues for drivers like David Rudman, David Gilliland, Brad Keselowski, Jeff Gordon, Brian Keselowski, Juan Pablo Montoya, Michael McDowell, Travis Quaffle, Ron Fellows, Tommy Dreesy, Victor Gonzalez Jr., Landon Castle, and Max Pappas. Marcos Ambrose had the dominant car throughout the first half. There was lots of bumper-to-bumper action and side-by-side racing, as well as a lot of crashes and spins. Number 4, the 2018 Bank of America Roval 400. Another road course race. This time it's the inaugural race at the Charlotte Roval. And on top of that, this is the elimination race of the round of 16. So there will be some playoff drama in this one. 12 drivers: Joey Logano, Eric Almirola, Kyle Larson, Kurt Busch, Chase Elliott, Austin Dillon, Alex Bowman, Ryan Blaney, Clint Bowyer, Jimmy Johnson, Eric Jones, and Denny Hamlin were all competing for 8 open spots in the round of 12. It was clear that Kyle Larson had a really fast car. We saw some battling through the field, contact maybe while battling, strategy, comers and goers, playoff drama, a hard hit into the wall, as well as multiple spins throughout the first half of this race. Number 3, the 2011 Aaron's 499. A race at Talladega Superspeedway that broke a record. This race was a race where tandem drafting was a must when it came to superspeedway racing. The Hendrick teammates qualified in the top 4 spots. Throughout the first half, there was no real dominant cars. Some of the fast cars included Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, and Clint Bowyer. We saw a few crashes and a ton of lead changes. 45 lead changes in the first half of the race. If you are looking for races with a lot of battles for the lead and lead changes, this is the race for you. Number 2, the 2014 Geico 500. Another race at Talladega Superspeedway. In the playoffs this time for the 2014 season. 10 drivers: Kyle Busch, Ryan Newman, Carl Edwards, Jeff Gordon, Denny Hamlin, Casey Kane, Matt Kenseth, Brad Keselowski, Jimmy Johnson, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. were fighting for 6 spots to make it into the inaugural round of 8 and try to keep their championship hopes alive. Dale Earnhardt Jr., the master of plate racing, was the fastest car that day, a driver who really needed points. In this race we saw some big wrecks and side-by-side racing. 2 wide for basically the entire first half and sometimes even 3 wide racing. Before I get to my number 1 pick, let me give you some honorable mentions. The 2018 and 2019 Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race at Bristol, the 2019 Food City 500 at Bristol, the 2018 Chicagoland race, the 2011 and 2014 Fall Martinsville races, 2011 1.5 mile tracks races at Atlanta and Homestead, the 2019 Talladega and Kansas Spring races, the 2019 race at the Charlotte Roval, and if you want some exhibition races, the 2018 and 19 All-Star races are some good options. Also, before I get to my number 1 pick, let me give you some races that you can watch that happened before 2010. The 1999 Goodies 500 at Bristol, the 2000 Winston 500 at Talladega, the 1992 Hooters 500 at Atlanta, and the 1979 Daytona 500. Number 1, the 2019 1000bulbs.com 500. Yes, Talladega is this entertaining to where we have 4 Talladega races on this list. The middle race of the round of 12 brought us to one of the most chaotic tracks in NASCAR. In the first half, we saw some manufacturer teamwork between the Fords and Chevrolets. The Toyotas were outnumbered, so they couldn't compete much. We saw that there were no dominant cars, but Joey Logano and Chase Elliott had some really fast cars. The racing was 2 wide throughout the pack the entire time, and occasionally we would see 3 wide racing. The racing right before the end of Stage 1, when everyone was trying to get as many stage points as possible, was also very exciting to watch. So that was my top 10 list of the NASCAR races to watch while under quarantine. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment on this video if you agree and disagree, and let me know your own opinion and list in the comments section. Click the notification bell so you can get notified every time I upload a video. Share this video, check out my other content, and as always, thanks for watching.